All right, it's been a while since I've done a video, and I want to do a little quick catch-up video and show us where we are in our season. It is now week 11. Don't think I've done a video since the end of week 3, or maybe in week 4 I did a video about week 3. Sort of fell off the radar. There isn't a lot to analyze, and I don't really keep any sort of advanced data. The system kind of does it already with these weekly recaps, which I think are compelling enough that I'm like, you know, why go so much deeper than that? I do want to take a look at the standings and maybe talk a little bit about maybe long-term thoughts on where we're headed because I think this season it is competitive, but I personally am kind of craving a little bit more. We've tried the auction format with keeper implications, and frankly, we just didn't seem to have like full buy-in on that plan, which is why we were ramping down from that, planning to go to Snake next year, but I really think it would be fun and compelling to do a dynasty league, and I think that's maybe where we should go. Anyway, first we'll talk standings and where we are. I'll get to that after, and then after that, already complete, but I'll put it at the end. I talked with JW for something like 30 something minutes about top 10 all time NBA players and things. We were talking on the phone, and then we realized, why don't we record this and just put this as part of the video? Why not, right? If anyone watches it, great. If anyone doesn't, oh well, we're talking anyway. So that's what's at the end. Um, so yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at the standings. We had a big matchup last week with Let It Rain, Nate, taking on me. And if you see here, I've won 5 in a row. Therefore, I did beat Nate. Nate has scored considerably more points than anybody else in the league, basically 200 over the course of 10 weeks. He is scoring 20 extra points compared to anyone every week. That's a lot. He's got a great team, didn't have it last week. But yeah, very much deserving to be the number one team. The points don't lie. Number 2 in points, we have to go all the way down to 7th place to find. That would be JW, Dubsy Dimes. 4,037 points means he's scoring 403.7 a week. That's a good number. There's only 2 teams above 400 per week, and he is one of the 2, and yet he is in 7th, not in the playoffs as of today. That's brutal. 3,946 points against is the second most, as in he has had the second most difficult schedule. And then number 1 most difficult is Derek, who's at 398.2. Yeah, which is the third most points. Unbelievable. Let me scroll down to make sure there isn't someone else down here who's scored a shit ton of points and just getting unlucky. Yeah, man. At 4 and 6, you could argue Derek is even more unlucky than JW because he's had 150 more points scored against him. Wow, and very close, 50 points away. Dang, you guys are getting really unlucky. I mean, I have literally had 500 points less scored against me as opposed to Derek. 500. That means 50 points a week less. I mean, I've scored some points too, but Derek has scored more than me. And yet I am 8 and 2 and he is 4 and 6. This started out about JW being unlucky, but wow, Derek, you were really unlucky. And it seems like that's every year. I don't know. Injuries are a really big deal in fantasy basketball. We know that. I've had my share. Everyone has some. I think it's going to come down to a really competitive end of the season. Frankly, this is a pretty good product this year. We have a lot of teams that are in it. Maybe we shouldn't change anything. Maybe this is fun and maybe this is good. The only difference going into next year that we're planning on is doing Snake instead of auction. Well, anyway, again, I'll table that. So after me, we've got one team standing alone at 7 and 3, and that's Bo. Nico Harrison is fired. Really curious what that team name will be next year. If you'll keep the Nico thing going or if you'll adapt to something new. Bo scoring lots of points, right up there, kind of in near that top echelon, except for Nate, who's above everybody. The D Rose tribute band, back from their title campaign last year. Frankly, I didn't expect to see this team in the top half of the standings much this year. I didn't think they were a bad team, but I didn't think they were a good team. And 6 and 4, we're one game out of the playoffs, or into the playoffs, but still, the team looks pretty good. That's 3,944 points, basically the same as me, Bo, Derek, right again, that second tier below Nate. We got Mahogany Teakwood, Matt. I don't know what that name means, but 3,779 points, a little bit lower than the group that we've just described, including then JW and Derek. So you could maybe make the argument you're a little fortunate to be in the field compared to JW or Derek when they've scored considerably more points than you. Same thing with Duran here at Stat King. Both of them are in the field if we had the playoffs now, but the points don't really support that. But when I look at this, I mean, 8-2, 8-2, 7-3, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4, 5-5, 4-6, 4-6. That is very much kind of anyone's game. And as we have seen just by looking at Dubsy Dimes and Motorcade, definitely any team can beat any team in this league any given week. And then we scroll down and we do see Adrian down here 4-6, Tony 3-7, Jay 2-8, and Ant not trying at all. Jalen Johnson on his bench 1-9. That's tough. So really not a whole lot to talk about other than where we are in the standings. So I think I'll leave it at that. I'm going to stop it, and then we'll pick it back up when we talk about the potential for Dynasty or not. So I think with the direction of the league in the future, I think Dynasty would be fun. I think basketball is a game that does kind of lend itself to Dynasty. We've tried the salary, keeper structure before, and it felt like we never quite got full buy-in, and maybe there was still confusion on kind of what's good value, what's bad value, how should I really be trading at the deadline in order to leverage, other people who need what I have and vice versa. Dynasty is pretty simple. I think my fear with like the redraft and continuing every year to have new assets and we all trade them back and forth is that there's basically, if you're good at drafting, there isn't any big penalty for buying in and going big. In Dynasty, once you've sold your really good young assets to go get old guys, that's still your team the next year. And you may buy a few years of contending based on that, but you're going to have to figure out a long-term plan. And those young assets are always kind of like the coin of the realm. Like those are the big attractive pieces. I just think it'd be fun. I'm in another Dynasty League, which is what I have up here on the screen, and we have pretty big rosters. The whole league that we do is based on this league. So I know there was a comment earlier in the year about how the benches are already too big. I think in Dynasty it's kind of important to have pretty deep rosters. This is a 16-man league with this big of benches. With 12, I feel like we should have no problems with roster size personally, and that is my vision. Is I think I want to take us towards Dynasty. We'll keep talking it out. I'll keep thinking on scenarios of other options too, but generally speaking, I think we want to probably go Dynasty and 12 teams. Probably not every team from the current league is getting the invite over to the new one. Honestly, I think we need to make maybe a couple cuts because just a few people that aren't as bought in as the rest, I feel like, and that's not good when you're starting something new. If we do go towards Dynasty, I want someone who's invested to be the one making decisions on their draft and not have to then replace them a year later if we decide then that it's not a good fit. So probably going to have to look a little bit at who could come in and replace a couple teams, but that's the direction I think I want to go. And I just feel like having something more complex than just basic redraft is what I need to feel really locked in on this. So that's kind of where I think we're headed. But it has been a competitive season, so I am glad for that. So we'll kind of see. And then the next section of the video is going to be... What'd you say, buddy?
I don't know. I want to talk.
Okay. That's great. So anyway, the next section of the video is going to be the talk about top 10 all-time kind of things. So if you're not interested in that, you can go ahead and skip it. But if you want to hear, generally speaking, JW and I's thoughts, listen on. All right, got JW with me now because we were just on the phone for 40 minutes and we were talking about best basketball players ever. And at first we were like, no, we don't have time to make a video. But then we talked for 40 minutes and we were like, yeah, let's go ahead and just turn the video on. And as you can see, we had flipped through a few of the basic guys. LeBron, JW hates LeBron. We had talked Larry
Look,
Bird.
I
We were just
acknowledge.
about to get into his Larry Bird take.
Let me preface this with I acknowledge LeBron's talent, and I used to love the man. Like I literally watched his high school games on ESPN, and when he first came to the league and when he was with Cleveland, I was all in. I think I started to waver with the whole decision nonsense, and when he went when he left Cleveland, right? Like to me, I just feel like, look, that's my man's hometown. You have got the luxury of playing basically. I mean, I know it's not exactly his hometown, but it's the closest NBA franchise to his hometown. So you got the luxury of playing in your hometown and doing something great there. I as a human being, I just feel like you got to start and finish there if you have the opportunity. That's just where I
He
feel.
went he
Um,
went back. He went back and
I
he
get it.
delivered.
I get it. But then he left again. Like his ego is so big that he can't just be happy sitting there in Cleveland winning multiple championships, right? Like, and
That
part of that
title
is because I don't
was
know if he thinks he could, and I think he alienates the people around him that could help him.
that title was they
So,
were down 3-1, right?
I
And they
mean,
came back and beat the Warriors when he was in Cleveland. Wasn't it down 3-1?
yeah, because of
Crazy
Kyrie,
crazy comeback. I
because of
mean, they barely
Kyrie.
they shouldn't have won that series. So I don't know about like winning multiple cuz the Warriors might have just continued to dust them. Hey, have you ever heard him called Benjamin Buckets? The Little
No,
Emperor? What the hell? Where does Basketball Reference get these? Okay, King James, LBJ, Chosen One, even Braun
let's talk
Braun.
about
I
that
mean, I
too. Who labels themselves King James from the get go too? Like that's just. I'm sorry. Anyway, I
L
look.
Train,
Here's the thing. I just feel
Captain
like the dude's ego
L'America.
is so bad. No, I've never heard
Yeah,
of
I'm not a
America.
fan. I'm not a fan of how everything ties back to LeBron, no matter what it is. But he is building an incredible brand, and like he's a billionaire, and so it's like I respect what he's doing in
Well,
some way
I ain't
because
mad at
he's
him.
smart. But it does feel
Well,
like
I say I'm
someone
not
could
mad
come and
at him.
ask him. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Someone could come and ask him like, "Hey, Luca had a great game tonight. What's it like to play with that guy on your team?" And he'll say, "Yeah, man, Luca's great. You know, it's really good for me to have someone like that who's also on my level, and we can both really do our thing out on the court." I'm like, that's a very LeBron type quote to me. Like he always finds a way to just bring it back to him, but I think I am loosely aware he does good things for the community. So I guess you hate all of those contributions too. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no,
How
I mean,
many
look,
how many All Star
I'm all for
appearances does
anybody
he
helping.
need
I'm all for
before
helping
you'll
anybody
give
with
him
the
his due?
community.
I'm
It's
just
not that I'm
joking.
not
I just
giving him his due. I think he's top three. I
no,
think he's top
no.
three.
You said he was not even top
Maybe top
five.
five. All right. Well,
That's a
he's top five. That could be a third.
so.
Look. I think
Oh,
his numbers are
I thought you
there.
said he was not top five. Sorry, I thought maybe I
Oh no, I do
misunderstood
think
you.
he's top five. The numbers just you can't argue with the numbers past that. I guess I just don't like him as a human being, and I think that's gonna and that's all because of the ego, the flops, I mean the just
His
taking plays
personality
off.
bothers you, is what I'm hearing. Oh, and
Yeah, it
you,
is
yeah, his
frustrating because it is frustrating because I used to like him. I really did. Like
yeah.
I have witnesses. Like Alex can tell you, I used to like him. You know, he did a complete 180 on me, very much like Bryson DeChambeau in the golf world. I used to think the dude was such a douchebag, and then now after he started doing some social media stuff, you start to see who the guy really is, and you start to enjoy him and you like him. And that could all be an act. It could be fake. I don't know, but from what I see, I like him. But anyway,
The
let's
golf
get
basketball overlap that everyone's been craving. I we
absolutely.
had talked a little bit about, well, where does he fall if he's not if he's not number two or number one? Because we agree Jordan is the greatest player of all time, and I think for
So
people my
you
age, we're a little like we got this
so
a
where do
little
you
bit of a
put
gap.
Kobe?
I don't have like a well-refined top 10, so maybe it's stupid for me to broach the subject because of that, but he's not top 5. He's not he's more of like a
You don't think Kobe Bryant is top five?
no. No, I
Justin, that
don't
may be
think
the worst
so.
basketball take I've ever heard.
I don't think so. I think he's in the 6 to 10 range, somewhere in there.
All right, well
He's
let's talk about Larry because we have his numbers up real quick. Because I think Larry is
we
one of the most underrated players.
we did gloss over that in the I love the ads that are on here too. Thanks Basketball Reference. I have Kareem at number 3. You have Kareem potentially at number 2. It sounded like so we actually agreed, and I don't know that Kareem is like well respected and almost always top 5, but I don't know if people always have him at. I think Kobe takes the number 3 spot a lot for people too, especially younger people. So Larry, you had Larry potentially in the. Well, I don't
Your
think
camera's
potentially.
frozen, by the way.
What?
On my screen, your camera's frozen.
Oh, it's not on mine, so we'll see when it comes out after. I guess. Thanks for the heads up.
Okay.
So the hick from French Lick, the Great White Hope, Larry Bird, the per Basketball Reference. I didn't make those up. You had him in
Bro,
the top
Larry,
5. You were
look.
saying.
Well, yeah, I think so. I think the biggest knock on Larry is he only played 13 years, and I get that. I get that. Oh, what do we chat GPT? Oh, I'm curious what they said. But look, the biggest knock on Larry is he only played 13 years, right? And what's
I
crazy?
didn't know
Go
that.
watch Larry highlights. So everybody thinks Larry
You've
was
sent
just
me
a.
some.
If you go look at it, pull up his stats. I will send you some. Larry was an athletic dude. Um, if you pull up his stats, everybody talks about Larry's 3 pointers, right? But let's go look at how many he averaged. The dude was more than a 3 point shooter. Everybody wants to talk about. Hey, it puts Kobe at number 9, so you might not be crazy.
I mean, what does
Chat
ChatGPT know? But
GPT.
it has Larry at 5.
I
So
think
there it
Larry's
is.
top
There's
five.
conclusive. I don't know. I
Honestly,
guess we've settled the debate. Michael Jordan is number 1. LeBron is 2. No more. We stop the video
hey,
now.
and it says consensus up there. I think. Look, I think you got to take into with LeBron, and I know we're skipping around a little bit, but I think with LeBron, you do have to take into the longevity, right? The fact that he's been able to do it as long as he has at the level that he does, is amazing. It reminds me of an Emmitt Smith, right? Like to some degree, like. And part of what
But
made Emmett great was the fact that Emmett could just do it forever. As a running back, that's just unheard of.
and no one
Um,
says Emmett's the greatest running back of all time, though, right?
no, I don't think so. Very few
The
people.
longevity got him the record, but it and I don't is it does he still the all-time rushing leader?
Yeah, by quite a few yards.
Okay,
The
running backs just
closest
don't have the shelf life anymore, but
the closest active to him is Derrick Henry, and he's going to need to average.
makes sense.
I think he's going to need to average. Me and Alex were actually just talking about this. He's going to need to average like 1,300 rushing yards a season for the next 4 or 5 years to
Oh,
get.
dude, that's never getting caught then.
So I
If
don't think
Derrick
he can
Henry
do
is
it.
that far away, I don't remember how early it was when Derrick Henry took over. I'm not a super
Derrick's
football
he's
guy, but
31. So I mean,
he's not rushing for 1,300 yards when he's 35.
his career average says he does.
Nah, 35. That's just
I mean, I'm
that's like
not
the
I'm not actually disagreeing with you. I'm arguing for the sake of arguing to some degree.
yeah.
Um,
But I was just saying Emmett isn't considered the greatest rusher of all time, even though he's clearly has the record for the most rushing yards. Because it's about more than just the the volume, which is the LeBron argument in some way, which is like you just can't deny someone that has shit. How many points does he have now? These are per game, but he has 40,000 points or whatever he does. You can't deny that is more than anybody else, and yet that's not the only thing that matters.
yeah, I mean,
Hey,
I agree.
he leads history in turnovers too. Didn't know that. Fun fact. Makes
That doesn't
sense.
surprise me at all.
Makes sense. I mean,
Yeah,
point
because
guards and ball handlers lead that category, obviously. So,
well, yeah,
but
but
yeah, 42,000 points.
at 41, he likes to just take a pass and let it bounce off of his legs and go out of bounds. He's really great at that these days. I watched it
His
twice on
turnovers
Christmas
actually,
Day.
his turnovers. He's played 1/5 of the minutes of last year, and he has like less than 1/6. He has
He's
less
not hitting.
turnovers per.
He's not hitting the ball as much as he did in the past either.
True. Duh. Yeah, yeah.
Right? Like
Anyway,
he's
we,
not the
we, we
primary
never
ball handler
actually
anymore.
never actually hit on Larry Bird. What do you want to say about old Larry? You said he's more athletic than people give him credit for. I heard that.
Yeah. Well, you look at his 3-point attempts and 3-point look at
Wow.
this tells you how much the game has changed. Everybody talks about how Larry was just a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
It's just not true. It's
Oh,
just
I
not
guess
true.
I haven't heard that much discourse about Larry. It's just a little out of my.
But
He
look at
wasn't
his
like just faded from the league when I was starting to watch.
yeah. I mean, but look at his points per game. He almost averaged 20 his entire career. Right? Like, well, what do you? I mean, per season.
24-3.
Right, but I think the lowest season he had was what 19 point. Hold on,
4.
sorry, yeah, like
3. Sorry. They're only well, yeah. 19-3, 19-4, 22, 20.2 that is. It's like you just look at the gaudy numbers. I mean, so Michael came in like at the tail end of Larry's career and he was
you're
scoring
right. It
30
was
a
more
game.
magic, and it was more Magic and Larry, right? Magic and Larry went at it,
Yeah,
and what
but
people don't,
he averaged 10 rebounds for his entire career. That's
right?
wild.
Yeah,
And he
no,
wasn't he wasn't a giant, was he?
he was tall, but I think
Six
how
six
tall?
nine is big. That is big.
Right, he was tall, but the
I
fact that I
actually thought he
mean,
was shorter than that. Wow.
yeah, no, but he, like I said, I need to send you some stats, and look, I didn't really watch a ton of Larry. Larry was kind of tailing away as I
Yeah, yeah. Like that's Michael
was.
Jordan for me. Like I watched Michael Jordan on the Wizards, but I, I never saw him in the Bulls. Like I
But
wasn't. I wa-
I saw enough of Larry, and I guess I've seen enough highlights of Larry to
he was
appreciate his
still he was
athleticism.
yeah.
Um,
Everyone like in that's been watching the NBA when you're getting into it would tell you about him in Magic. I'm sure,
I
right?
mean, look, and not even just stats alone. Look at so the majority of his career, he never finished outside of the top four in MVP voting, and won three straight. Right.
Yeah, I
So
mean 4-2-2-2-1-1-1-3-2 is amazing. Even if you throw
so
out the four, it
and
was
you can see in 88, 89,
just
he only played 6 games. Right. Like.
10-time All NBA in 13 seasons.
So I think anybody who doesn't put this man in his top five is lying to themselves. It's just my opinion.
But there's so many good players too. I mean, where does Bill Russell
I
rank?
agree,
Like
but how many
this is the hard question.
how many won three straight MVPs? How many in 6 years finished first or second in MVP voting? 6 straight years.
I
I get there's
I
been a lot of good players. Well, not only that, for
Jordan, LeBron, Kareem.
one,
Kareem had
two,
to have
three,
done that,
four,
right?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight years he was top four. And all of but one, he was top three in MVP voting.
Yeah, Kareem, which most people consider above Larry, so it's not a knock on Larry, but like
Right.
I'm counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 straight years top five in MVP voting. No, 12. His
Right.
rookie
And he
year, he
played
was
20
top five.
seasons. He played 20 seasons.
Golly.
Right? Like, so that's why I do think Kareem is above Larry.
Yeah.
Kareem, and
And
not
like
only that, Kareem
the
was
college
different.
basketball too.
Yeah, the guy was just a flat out different type of player, especially in his generation, right? Um,
My dad
he,
will never forgive him for demanding out of Milwaukee.
I get that. I don't blame for him either in that
Yeah.
situation. Like,
Yeah. Well,
but not
this.
only
What do
that,
you think of? Go ahead.
not only that, we were talking about his rebound numbers. Look at his assist numbers.
I guess I even thought they were higher, but like that's just the legend of his name. I know he's a great passer. 6.3 is freaking awesome for a 6'9", not primary ball handler, right? I'm assuming
Right.
he wasn't like every
No.
time up the court I have the ball, not like a Magic or anything. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Almost 2 steals a game is super. That's a super great number too.
Look, I think you should find a short YouTube video right here, right now of
You've
Larry's
sent me
top
some.
10.
You've already sent me some in the past. I was impressed. I certainly don't have a whole lot of knowledge in my head about what that looked like, but it was impressive. This is something we had talked about just before the video, and if anyone does watch this, I think this is kind of fun. I was kind of floored by this. I didn't realize quite how much it had changed and how quickly.
What's up,
But
man?
Steph is leading the league this year with 12.2 3-point attempts. Not surprised that he's leading the league or anything. He's led the league a bunch of times. Ooh, didn't mean to turn everything all orange. Whoops. So I just was floored by the fact that, yeah, he's led the league with attempts 12.2, 11.2, 11.8, 11.7, 12.7. But then when you look back, he led the league in 12-13 with just 7.7. So in like the 13 years, basically in a decade's time, to lead the league in 3-point attempts, you had to start shooting 5 more a game. I mean, that's not that far off from doubling.
Just
It's
talking
just
about
crazy what he's done to the NBA. And
well,
that you
talking
were
about
saying
how
that you
much.
don't like the aesthetics of the product anymore because it's just so many threes.
Yeah, it's hard for me to watch a game anymore because and part of
We had
this is
talked about
probably like I grew up
you've
in an
stopped
era.
your love for the NBA has gone down just generally because this is a
Yeah, and I
factor
think
anyway.
part of that's I grew up in an era where the triangle offense was well, watching Jordan run that thing every night, right? Jordan, Pippen, Kerr, all those guys, Tony Kukoc, gosh, can't forget that guy. But anyway, like I watched them run an offense that basically got guys open or generated opportunities to drive to the hoop and watch Jordan do something absolutely stupid. But so I just feel like the game has evolved to where it's basically we're just going to come up the court and the first time somebody gives me a foot, I'm taking a three, right? Like, and look, it shows. Look at Larry, who was known as for his 3-point shooting. Like in his 13 years, his 3-point attempts was 1.9. Like the dude
Yeah.
never averaged more than 2 a game. I mean, I
I
know he
read
had
that
games where
like if he's not open, he's probably not forcing it. That was the mentality then was
yes, and
he's
look, and
not
then
taking
I
step
also
backs.
I coached a few years with a varsity coach who was very much the same way, who was very offense structured, and we rarely took unopened shots, and that was part of the reason we had success. Um, so to me, I just feel like basketball has the potential to be such a beautiful game, and I don't feel like it is as beautiful as it once was, and so for me, it's hard to watch professional basketball. Um, I think I think there are certain schools that still play that way at the college level, and I probably enjoy watching them somewhat more. Um, you know, I'm I'm always going to be a D and I don't want to say 3 and D guy, but you know, I'm a Virginia fan and watching Tony Bennett's offense in general. It wasn't flashy and it didn't do the things that we see. And I get that the way kids are these days, that probably was the direction the NBA needed to go. That's the reality. Um, so, but I don't know, man. I think Larry is absolutely top 5 for me. Um,
The top 10 is such a fun argument, and everyone kind of has their shade of it. And I think Bill Russell really throws a wrench in that too, because how do you say? I think there are a lot of people anyway that would say, "Well, Michael Jordan, 6 finals, 6 championships. He has to be number one. LeBron can't possibly be number one because look at the championships." But then they don't have Bill Russell in their top 10. And I'm not really like the basketball historian to know what exactly it looked like the product on the court with Bill Russell, but 11 championships in 13 seasons. But no one cares about that. And I think it's accepted that the NBA is just different, and that couldn't happen today. But it is interesting. I just say that because Bill Russell's on this
well,
list.
yeah,
Wilt
but
is kind of the same.
I also think
Not that,
Bill was playing at a time where him and Wilt were really the only big men, like big men, like. So it's hard
yeah.
to.
I don't know enough about the era too much. I know a few people that are big on Tim Duncan, like verging even higher than this. And I remember watching him play, and he was just so boring, for lack
He
of a
was
better
boring to
term,
watch.
that you just don't. And Kareem was boring too. I mean, I'm not
I
like I
watched
never watched Kareem,
I watched a
but he
lot
was
of
pretty
Tim
boring
Duncan,
too.
and I saw
Uh,
Tim Duncan play live in college twice.
Oh, that's cool.
because they would come to Virginia, obviously being from Wake Forest. Um,
Hakeem, this is some just missed stuff. I didn't see this down here. KD closing in on top 10. He's damn good. That's an interesting one. I didn't see this down here. Hey,
here's
do you want to pop quiz real quick?
Yeah.
You
Let me
can you
get
can
this
make your
one
point.
point. Let me get
Go
this
ahead.
one point real quick. To me, there's also a level of eye test, right? And I get that people from a lot of guys from your generation tend to lean toward LeBron because they watched him play,
Yep,
and they missed watching
definitely.
Jordan play. Um, for me, that plays a factor in it too. Like Jordan was just a dog. Like he was just a dog. That dude never took plays off. I mean, I'm sure in his career, I'm sure he took a few plays off here and there. Everybody probably does it. I never. It wasn't so much that I remember any of it. So, and I always remember that dude playing defense like it was NBA championship game. Every game, it felt like the dude just was a dog. He was so competitive, and I just feel like some of these guys these days just don't have that level of competition.
Yeah, I mean, 9-time All Defense in 15 years speaks to that. And then when you look at LeBron, 6-time All Defense, but in 21 seasons, not a big comparison there. I don't think anybody's saying that
But
like Michael Jordan's a worse defender than LeBron. That's a big factor for sure. And yeah, there was a level of competitive. Like LeBron obviously gets locked in and is a big time competitor, obviously. But
he
like
can be, but I
I
feel like
think
he doesn't do it very
Jordan,
often.
well, he's so old now. But yes.
Then he needs to retire.
So okay, pop quiz time. Don't look. Don't look at the sheet because I got to scroll down to see the list. But I asked ChatGPT. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I asked ChatGPT, who do you think will be the top 10 players that are active right now? Do you want to try to name them?
Ooh.
I'm just totally putting you on the spot. You don't have to,
Well,
but I'm
I don't pay as much attention as I used to.
okay. No worries, no worries. I mean, you know the names at the
So
top, but there's no
yeah, I
question.
must say I know Jokic. Anthony Edwards is probably in there.
Okay,
Um,
so do you want me to just go down the
Obviously,
list? It's not
Giannis,
no
Luka,
quiz, no quiz.
Curry,
It's leaning
Durant,
on the old guys who already have established something. It looks like. So
which
yeah,
it should at
Jokic.
this point. It just should
That's
at this
all.
point.
That's all the data it has to go on. Yeah, it's not going to predict. Cooper Flag is going to become. Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Curry, Durant, Shea, Tatum, Embiid, Kawhi, and AD. With Booker, LeBron. Oh, I guess it's doing some kind of like ratings right now because LeBron is here. He would have clearly been number one. He's still active. I said greatest, but let's. Okay, this is fun for me. Asking ChatGPT will be the greatest 10 players after their career is over who are yet to turn, let's say 28. I want to see young dudes. I'm asking ChatGPT to do some future prediction and analysis. I'm just curious. We got Luca.
Makes sense.
Oh, it's putting in some serious work now. Wemby, the wild card with nuclear upside. Tatum, Shea, Ant, Ja. Come on, man. You need to update
It
your
says it though.
algorithms or something.
Talent wise, absolutely belongs. That's what it says.
I
He
feel
had
like that is up for debate now. Paolo also is like people are down on him all of a sudden now, even though he's had some games where he's popped. Halliburton, Zion, Chet. Interesting. LaMelo, Scotty, Brunson, and Booker are on the list. Anyway, this is just general NBA stuff too. Uh, Fun. I guess I need to also do something for the actual league before like the video's over, but I can probably do that without you if you don't
I
want
do gotta get some work done. Yeah,
to. I'm off today.
we probably should look at Magic's numbers too.
Okay, let's do it. I'll take Curry's out. Because I don't know much about Magic in a literal stat way. 12-time All-Star, 4-time assist champ, 2-time steal champ. All rookie, 5-time champion.
3-time MVP.
I was looking for the MVP. I was like, was he not an MVP? Yeah, he's one of those where it's like if
Another. He only played 13 years.
Bird or Magic didn't exist, one of them, the other one might be looked at as a viable all-time best player. If the other one wasn't in their way, soaking up the MVPs or the accolades, one of them might have racked up 5 or 6 MVPs.
Yeah, and look, I think both of their careers were cut short by injuries, or well, for
Yeah,
Magic, it was not really an injury; it was more of a
yeah. 1, 2, 3,
AIDS
4,
thing,
5, 6, 7,
HIV.
8, 9. 9 straight years of top 3 with no exceptions for him in the MVP voting.
Yeah,
That's wild.
yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And the only reason he didn't get Rookie of the Year was because of Bird.
That's fun. They were rookies the same year. I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why they're the whole there was a Magic versus Bird video game, um, back in the day.
What?
Yeah.
That's fun.
So
I didn't know that.
another dude he cut short. Like I said, 13 years. In his 13th year, I don't know. I mean, he played 32 games. I played 29 minutes. But he was clearly not the same dude. Okay, yeah, let's do that one because I think you're nuts. I I don't know if maybe his death has made him.
One-time MVP. 15-time All-NBA. I mean, jeez. 2-time scoring champ, 1-time MVP. Those are less both than I would have predicted. I'm not even trying to make my case. I'm just saying those are less than I thought. He was a multi-time MVP. I thought he must have led the league in scoring 5 times because I think of him as just as. That's what the joke always is all he did was shoot. He didn't pass, right? And he was good, right? Some of these shooting percentages at the end of his career were ugly, but that's obviously
Yeah.
he's getting old.
They say he didn't pass, but man, his assist numbers ain't bad. He almost averaged 5 a game. They're not awful.
But the usage rate is got to be insane with him to the point. Yeah, maybe that is. I don't know what I would have guessed. I mean, I don't think I would have given him credit to have 5. Just me looking and thinking about him, I don't picture him as a 5 assist a game guy.
Something else I don't
But
know.
but if
I
you
ever-
say 3, that sounds like a impossibility as much as he has the ball and
well,
gets doubled.
my first reaction just looking at this is I can tell you the reason he only has 1 MVP is because he was injury prone. Look at him. Look how often he played more than 70 games.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this stretch from his physical prime at age 27, or maybe it was a year or two earlier than that, maybe some people say, but 80, 77, 82, 82, 73, 82, he got one right in the middle. He wasn't even the runner-up, but once.
Well, yeah,
Once.
I agree.
That's crazy. I just didn't know that. And I was still saying I think he's down 6 to 10. Now I put him down maybe not even top 50. I'm just kidding.
I was about.
You didn't react. You didn't react at all. I was expecting an obvious
well, my face did.
I didn't see it. I guess. Yeah. So. Yeah, he's a legend, but I feel like maybe there is some small amount of post-death inflating. He was awesome. He was great. He's a top 10 player of all time, but I just don't know. And I actually never even said who my
Well,
top 5 were.
And like I said, I think this is where the eye test comes in. You don't watch the dude play and don't think that he's that guy. I think there's there's a generation that basically watched him dominate in their mind, right?
It would be fun to do rankings for, I'm seeing this note on Shaq. I wouldn't say Shaq is a top 5 player, but peak Shaq might be the most unstoppable force in NBA history.
I agree with that. I think
what would be
Shaq,
the top 10 of best 3-year stretch of all time? And where does Jokic fit in that already?
Oh,
Because
dude,
it's got to be
he's
top
got
10.
some. Well,
I
put
mean,
that in.
he
See
might
what
be he
ChatGPT
might be top
says.
5. Oh, you know what? I guess we do have the world at our fingertips. Create a top 10 list of the most dominant 3-year stretch for NBA players. No duplicate players allowed. Let's see.
Oh, love this
Michael
question.
Jordan,
Love this question.
Shaq. So 3 NBA titles, 3 Finals MVPs, 2 MVPs. That's pretty hard to argue, I suppose. Shaq, 3-time NBA champion, 3-time Finals MVP. 1, 2, 3. Just I'm winning the title and I'm the best player on the team.
Man, I don't know if we're giving Shaq enough credit.
He played too long, right? I mean he won a title. I know,
He
like
played 19
post
years.
Lakers. Shaq
He probably
stats.
played 2 seasons too long because of injury purposes.
I'm just saying the stats started to fade, right? Am
Well,
I
but
right?
look at this games played. The dude never played 82 games. Like the dominance he had when he was on the court was flat out
Jeez,
ridiculous.
those game totals are short. It
Well,
just
because look
you
at it.
can't look at it's
And on
hard to
top of
look.
that,
I don't know why this matters, but it's hard to look at someone like they're a top 10 player of all time in some way. He is, I think. But it's hard to look at him like could he be the best player ever when he's bouncing around between Boston and Cleveland and Phoenix and Miami and Orlando and the Lakers. Like best players of all time just don't go to like 8 teams. It's just odd. I know you're probably going to say LeBron has now been on 4 teams, but
yeah, that's
well,
exactly where I'm going.
well, 3, I guess, but 4 stops. And he is the new mold. Like he's created the new style of what teams do. But Shaq was the
Well,
before that.
there's no.
Shaq was doing it before it was cool. It's just like he couldn't. He played so long that like teams didn't care if he was on their team anymore. Basically,
Shaq should have retired after Miami.
yeah, because like after Miami, no accolades. 5
Right.
years of.
Shaq should have
But
retired after
if he
Miami.
had retired, it would have been like, man, if he had just played the whole time, kind of like Larry or Magic, they get no dings for having short careers, almost. Other than if they had played longer careers, maybe their numbers, their accolades would have gone up. But like Shaq almost gets penalized a little bit for these last 5 years where he wasn't really Shaq anymore, it felt like. So
I mean,
interesting.
the dude averaged 2.3 blocks per game.
For his entire career, even with the old stuff.
Yes.
Wow.
He averaged 23-7 a game.
It's funny, I don't even really think of him as like a big time rim defender.
I think that maybe that's because you weren't watching Shaq from 92 to '05.
I was not.
Right. You didn't watch Prime Shaq.
I mean, honestly, I never really watched Shaq except for the 2006 finals, and then highlights. I mean, I watched the Lakers win their titles, but I was pretty young. I mean, I
mean,
wasn't even 10 when the Lakers won their first title with Shaq.
on a per game basis, my man averaged 23-7, 10.9 rebounds, 2.3 blocks, and even 2.5 assists from the big man spot.
You can't say even 2.5 assists.
Well,
That's
but
so
that's in
little.
an era where people didn't play. People didn't play through the big man.
Whatever.
They didn't.
So
Nobody
let's just
played through
finish
the
it.
big man like they do now.
Okay, that's true, but like every team's going to triple team him, so like there's going to be wide open people, I would think. But anyway,
Yeah, well, they did. And
I'll
then
defer to your judgment that he
and
was
on
a
top of
superlative
that,
passer.
nobody dealt with the amount of physical abuse as this dude
Yeah, yeah,
because he was
uh,
just so massive.
yeah, yeah.
Like
It
he
didn't
would
even
get
phase him if you slapped him, and like
dudes
you
would
couldn't
foul the
even tell.
crap out of him. They would foul the crap
Yeah,
out of him, but they wouldn't call it because he was still
yeah.
they were bouncing off of him.
Because
I
if
don't
you
have
did
that
call
problem
every
with
single
him.
one, if you called every single foul, it would just break the game, and he'd get 40 free throw attempts.
Yeah,
So
like
here's the rest of
that
the
was
list, real quick. You got
58.3% from 2 point.
Yeah, yeah. And
That's
he wasn't passing out very often. If he got the ball in the post, he was gonna shoot because he
yeah.
in his brain like I'll score every time. So yeah, that's impressive because I know he took some shots where the whole team was dangling off of him and he still shot it because that's just the mentality. Let me finish the list real quick. You got
All right.
LeBron, two NBA titles, two MVPs, two Finals MVPs. Wilt, three MVPs. Champ led the league in scoring, rebound, and efficiency. Kareem, three MVPs, one championship. Steph, two titles, two MVPs, including the first unanimous MVP, 73 win season. You got Larry, three-time MVP, two-time champion. Bill Russell, three-time champion. Rebound, that's not an accolade really. Kobe with one MVP, two championships, an 81-point game. That's crazy. And then Jokic is in here, so as he I think should be, three-time
Yeah.
MVP champion. Best offensive engine in NBA history, it says.
Okay. I don't know if you can argue
Hard to
that.
argue. Hard to argue. Brutal cuts. Tim Duncan, 03 to 05. Magic, 87 to 89. KD, 17 to 19. And Hakeem, 92, 93, 95. Yeah, that's a good one.
He
Okay.
gives us a Mount
Well,
Rushmore.
what'd you say? Oh,
It gives
who
us a
made the
Mount
league feel...
Rushmore.
Yeah, just extra content here. The question is, who made the league feel unfair for 3 straight years? The Mount Rushmore, Jordan, Shaq, LeBron, and Curry. I love ChatGPT can be kind of fun. It's going to ruin our lives eventually, probably, but
Oh, I
AI.
think
For now,
AI is going to ruin the world. We're all going to robots are going to kill us all.
it is kind of scary, but that's another video.
You know
I
me,
feel
I
like
like to go off the tangents.
with 36 minutes of content here, and I haven't even talked about the video, which I'm going to put the league stuff first, and probably no one will watch this whole thing. But this was fun. Well over an hour of basketball talk now when you combine the phone call. So thanks for doing this. I think we probably should cut it there so you can get back to work. I'm off.
Yeah, look, I'm good. I mean, we can cut it here, but I'm fine to do
Let's
let's do the league video.
let's do the baseball video. Let's do the
Let's do
baseball
both.
video.
Let's do both.
Cool. Let's do it.
I'm
All right,
in.
I'm going to cut this one though, and then
All right.
we'll get into that one.